Hello. So hi everybody, this is Tina Frazier. I'm actually coming to you from my in-laws' front porch in Williamstown, West Virginia today. I just thought I've been promising a Stitch With Me video on the front porch, and I figured I would come out here this morning since it's actually pretty nice. It's a little cool, it's why I'm kind of wearing a little hoodie, but I've got my Eat, Sleep, Stitch shirt on today. So anyway, I just thought I would come to you from my in-laws' front porch. I've got my stitchy spot set up today. I don't know, can you see that my rocking chair? Here's my stitchy piece that I'm going to be working on. This is the Floral Totoro. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard for me to see my computer screen. But this is the Floral Totoro piece that I have that I started on my birthday in March on the 18th. So I'm going to be stitching on this today, and so yeah, I don't know how long I'll be recording out here, but nonetheless I'll be recording. I have my cup of coffee on the thing. I don't know how long it's going to stay warm because it is a little chilly out here, and I have my stuff. I'll do this. This is kind of the pattern where I'm going with it, and here's my stitchy stuff. It's on a chair right down here, so I can refer to it as needed. But yeah, this is the Ohio River, you guys. I'm actually on my in-laws' front porch. You're looking at the Ohio River. I'm on the West Virginia side. Looking out over there, you see the buildings across the river. That is downtown Marietta, Ohio. This is my view today on Sunday. I don't even know what day it is. It's Sunday, April 22nd. It approximately was getting close to 10 a.m., being 10 a.m. It's a little overcast today. The sun is going to be at my back, so that'll be kind of nice. I'll have nice natural light for stitching. You can see I have my stitching frame here, but I'll have some nice natural light for stitching. Yeah, you're looking hopefully across the Ohio River, and you'll be able to sit and watch me stitch, maybe. So alright, I'll get to going. Let me get situated in my chair, and we'll get this party started. Alright, so yeah, hold on just a minute. I have to take care of something on my laptop screen for a minute. Please bear with me. There we go. Alright. So I'm in my stitchy spot. I'm going to put this over. I have to adjust my frames. I frame just a little bit. Those chairs a little higher than the other chairs I've been sitting in. There we go. That's actually quite perfect right there. So yeah, hi, this is me, enjoying my view of the Ohio River with my coffee this morning. You'll probably be able to see and hear a lot of birds, because there's a lot of birds in the area, but I don't know if you'll get to see any, oh, I'm just drinking instant Folgers coffee, by the way. This is one of my in-laws' mugs. It's just a picture of a butterfly with, I think, a tiger lily orchid or something. I don't know. But it's just instant Folgers coffee. I'm not real picky. I just needed something warm and caffeinated this morning. So you'll see the coffee. I'm sorry, I really have no other place to put it except the railing on the porch. But yeah, so alright, I have to adjust myself here a little bit. Alright, I don't think I'm actually gonna need that today, so I have to look here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of, my pattern actually has, I'm in a section that has a lot of like color changes. There's 5 colors in about 4 rows, 4 or 5 rows, and the rows are two stitches wide. So bear with me for a minute while I figure out, excuse me, how I'm gonna attack this. All right, so it would help if I had the legend out. I don't know if I have I think I remembered showing you this. I'll show you actually the color pattern from way back. So this is the piece I'm working on. This is Floral Totoro. He is a Japanese animation character. And this was a pattern that I found on Etsy, I believe. This came from, I can tell you who it came from once I get out the legend. This came from ElCrossStitch on Etsy, ElCrossStitch. And I think I'm doing this on white even weave, 28 count, I believe, white even weave. And I think this just was a piece of fabric that I had bought at like Joann's or Michael's. It was, I think, in a tube. So, let's see, what was I working on? What was I gonna do? I was gonna do that color, which is 472. All right. So, I have the colors for this on a little teeny ring. I sort all my stuff in floss away bags. So it's my preferred method. I don't bobbinate. I think bobbinating takes up too much time, and I don't like the kink it puts in your floss. Long time ago, back in the 90s, I was bobbinating, and then I was working on a piece of mine at a friend's house, and I was drinking something, and I knocked the actually use one of those short pieces since I already have it, but I knocked the drink I was drinking over, and it went into my little plastic bobbin case and soaked all my threads. And unfortunately at the time I wasn't separating out all my floss for each project. I had all my flosses for all my projects in the same bobbin box, and I had one of those real large ones, and unfortunately all of my floss that I owned was in there, and they all got completely soaked. I think it was Coke. It was Coke or Pepsi or root beer or something really sugary, and needless to say, they all got soaked, and I was destroyed. And yeah, that's kind of when I went to using floss away bags. Now, I don't normally. Recently, I haven't been pulling the floss for all my individual projects. I keep them all the projects I have currently going, all my floss for them are on like 4 huge rings at home. So I know at any given time I can pull out a project and I know where all the floss is. I don't have to like, dig around like if I'm missing a color. All my floss for all my projects are all in one spot. So, because I was traveling this weekend and I decided that I didn't want to have to bring my whole big box of, floss for just random colors, I pulled the random colors out of the main stash and put them in here for this project. I was working on another project yesterday. It was the Cross Stitchers Make Every Minute Count out of the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. And I was working on that pretty good yesterday. We took that to the Marietta College softball game with me across the river in Marietta. They were playing Ohio Northern yesterday. And I took my project with me over there. And I got so frustrated with that thing last night because I ended up having to frog a different section of the project last night because I miscounted. And I was so disheartened. And then trying to frog the section that I needed to pull out, I had my scissors cutting every little bit, and I was just so frustrated with it. My husband said, if you have another project with you, why don't you just put that one away and work on this other project? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So that's what I did. And so Floral Totoro came out with me. But yeah, I was so upset. And then yeah, I ended up not obviously getting much stitching done right now, but yeah, I ended up going to floss away bags. Oh, and that just fell on the floor. Lovely. Stand up to do this. Pardon me. Oh, a little stiff this morning. Oh. But anyway, so yeah, I kind of needed to do that. Oops, let's get back that far. There we go. So yeah. But yeah, I went to floss away bags because of the whole, you know, spilling Coke all over my project. My husband's coming up. Hi, hon.
What did you spill all over your project?
Nothing here. I'm talking about why I went to baggies instead of putting my floss on bobbins.
Oh.
Thank you. I didn't spill anything in my projects.
Okay.
Thanks, hon. My husband brought me my drink of choice. I'm gonna wait to open that for later, though. So anyway, other than that, yeah. But needless to say, when I spilled all that stuff all over my floss bobbins, my entire collection of floss, I was kind of devastated. And needless to say, I didn't get all the stuff out when I tried to rinse it, and it just kind of made everything worse, and some of the threads bled onto each other. I mean, it was, you guys, it was a disaster, frankly. And so I determined after that, you know, I was going to get floss, but I was going to put them someplace or into something that would keep them from getting wet if I spilled anything on them. So thus, you know, floss away bags. That's where it's at. Plus, you know, bobbinating was kind of annoying to me. I tried those little plastic things that you stick on your floss containers and you wind up, and mine kept popping off, and you know, my threads kept going everywhere, and I couldn't figure out how to easily manage the little short pieces like this. So using bobbins, so you know, the floss away bags make it kind of nice because if you have short little pieces, you know, like here, you know, I cut this piece off, you can just tuck them in the bag with your colors and they stay nice. You know what color it is. So yeah, floss away bags have been working for me for a good majority of years. Probably going on 15-20 years now. Yeah, it's probably been closer to 20 actually. But anyway, some of you may be wondering, so another couple of things. So as you can see, I stitch on a floor stand. I use a floor stand, and these little arms here that my piece is resting on, I actually created that myself. I took a piece of I think it's 1/2 inch by 2 inch oak trim from, I think I got it at Menards, but it was 6 foot piece long, or 6 foot long piece of trim. It's oak that I got, and I cut it down into I think a foot section, and maybe like 2.5 feet. So anyway, I cut the piece of wood down, and then I saw a setup similar to this on somebody else's floor stand, and I was like, well, you know, I could actually probably come up with my own like that. So you know, I had my husband and I got it. I cut the pieces of wood down myself, and I actually drilled the holes in the top up there. So I could make it wider this way, or I could make it longer. And this way I don't have to worry about trying to clamp my things in the clamp here. And also I could do any size piece. I could use this pretty much for anything. So these dowel rods here, all I gotta do is just lay my piece on there and it holds it, and then I can stitch. I'm a two-handed stitcher usually. I don't know exactly when I started doing that. It's probably been 15 years ago, but I'm a two-handed stitcher if I have a setup like this. I don't really care for holding, being an in-hand stitcher or holding my pieces in hand if I can avoid it, because it just makes this hand cramp up too much, and I work a little faster doing two-handed. My dominant hand is my right hand. It goes up underneath. Excuse me. And the other thing is I've been a loop starter for quite a while. And there's this modified loop start where you go down from the top and come up, put your needle through the hoop, and go back down through the same hole and just pull the hoop through. I saw that method a couple years ago online, so I've been doing that. But I have been a loop starter, you know, where you have to flip your project over and, you know, find the loop and everything. I used to do a Bargello, what's called a Bargello tuck, which is where you slide it, you know, slide your needle up underneath some stitches, pull it around, slide it back through the last stitch again, just to secure it more securely. I used to do that quite often, but I started hating having to always flip my project over to start and end floss. I hated that. So I think it was sometime end of last year that I also came across a video for the pin stitch. So now I start my projects, if I'm using a piece, if I'm doubling my strands and using a piece of floss that I can double over into a loop, I use the loop start method. And then when I finish, I use the pin stitch or modified pin stitch. The modified pin stitch is just going on the diagonal. The pin stitch is where basically, if you have it like on linen or even weave, when you have the two threads lying close to each other, you come over, go through the middle, come back over through the other side and go through the middle, and it kind of locks the stitches in. You can Google or do a YouTube search for the pin stitch, and you should be able to find many tutorials on how to do that, as well as the loop start method. But those are my two preferred methods for doing this. I'm using a little teeny short piece of thread because I only have about 5 stitches to do with this. So I'm going to start with the loop start, a little teeny piece of thread, and I'll be doing a pin stitch probably. Sounds like somebody's out for a walk this morning. Oh, they're jogging. A lot of people jog through here, so you'll see that. Yeah, this street doesn't get very much traffic because, you know, it's like right on the river. And oh, you can see, I don't know if you can see where the tree is down there. There's a boat dock down there, but that whole area is flooded. I can't really see where I'm at, what you can see down there, but yeah, there's a boat ramp down there, and that area is kind of flooded right now. The river's up. So, alright, I will get to some stitching. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Actually, I think I am going to kind of move this a little bit. And I have a little magnifier just so I can, you know, my eyes are good, but, you know, sometimes I just like a little bit of help seeing where I'm going. I have to make sure where I'm going with this. Alright. And I am working this upside down. Because it's just a little easier for me, so I don't have to stretch my arms out nearly so far. I'm pretty short, so I have short arms, and you know, just more comfortable if I could keep my arms closer to my body when I work. So alright, we got that started. Oh, the other thing is too, you guys, I use, because I stitch two-handed, whoops, sorry about that, I use a laying tool. Yep. So I use a laying tool. I use a trolley needle. I used to use this other laying tool needle that's actually a little bit longer and a lot more sharp. I don't think I have it in here available. Nope, I was using it to pull out, to frog seal my stuff last night when I was so frustrated. But yeah, I use a trolley needle as a laying tool. This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it real well, but it's got a thing that you stick your finger through your finger, and then it has this long little piece that you use as a needle. I keep it on my ring finger on my left hand because it's easiest for me to just, you know, kind of lay it under my floss and wrap it over. It's out of the way, you know. And I've actually gotten quite used to it being on my finger like this. So, yeah. It's kind of become habit for me to do that. I'm actually going to sip on my coffee for a little bit. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm going to take a little bit to finish my coffee because it's cooling down almost too much for me. So I'm enjoying the morning. It's nice out here. We've enjoyed our visit. It's been all right. My mother-in-law, you know, she's having issues still. Her tailbone is still bruised and still hurts from her fall the last trip we were here. So she, you know, she's taking some pain pills to help with that, and well, sometimes, you know, the pain medication kind of makes her a little loopy, and she seems a little confused, and sometimes, you know, it's hard for her to get up and out of chairs and up and off the toilet and stuff like that. So, you know, issues with being older. And you know, it's been a nice visit though. We've actually spent quite a bit of time. I would be sitting in there with her, but I know she just took a pain pill and she usually sits in her chair and falls asleep. And I've been promising this video to you for a while, so I just figured I'd come out since it's such a beautiful morning. I'd come out. We're actually heading back home today on Sunday instead of on Monday like we normally do, so I wouldn't have to start burning all my vacation and time off at work. I think the next time we come down, we're probably going to drive down on Thursday night so I can work remotely on Friday and not have to take a day off. But yeah, the next time we come down, I think that's what we're going to do, and it should be kind of fun, I guess. And who knows, maybe the next Friday I'm down here, or maybe that Friday at work, probably we'll have all our stuff done, so maybe she'll just say, don't worry about logging in. I don't know. That's a pipe dream though. I don't think she'll give me that, but anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the coffee here for a minute, and I'll get back to the stitching. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that brick building that's over there with the blue awnings on the windows on the lower floor. That is the Lafayette Hotel. It's really nice. It's one of the older buildings in town, obviously. It's not the original Lafayette Hotel. The original Lafayette Hotel burned down. But that hotel is one of the known local haunted places. And there's a group that does ghost hunts or paranormal investigations, and they allow they'll open it up to the public once in a great while, and you go in there at like 6:30 for a tour, and then like at 8:30 or 9 o'clock you can start your investigation, and the investigations go until about 2 or 3 in the morning. Last year in May I did an investigation over there at what's called the Betsy Mills Club, and it was a heck of a lot of fun, and I really want to go again. I know some of you probably don't know this, but I'm a total believer in ghosts. I know they exist, just because of the experiences I've had growing up and recently, and in fact my in-laws' house is inhabited by a ghost. So I've had a couple of experiences here recently while we've been staying here. So I completely believe in the existence of ghosts. I know that they have some unfinished business here, so that's why a lot of them tend to stick around, or they don't know that they're dead, which is the other thing. But one of these days I'm going to go over to the Lafayette over there and participate in one of the investigations there. The third floor is apparently the most haunted floor there. There is quite a few sightings and things that happen there. Also, I don't know if that's in the picture or not, because I can't really tell. Alright, so beyond this tree here, beyond this big tree that you see right here, there's a railroad bridge that goes across the river. The river that meets the Ohio right there underneath that railroad bridge is the Muskingum River. And just on that side of the Muskingum River and the Ohio River from the railroad track, or railroad bridge, is Harmer Village. It's part of downtown Marietta, but it's called Harmer Village, and there's this building there called the Anchorage. It's an old mansion that was there, and the paranormal group that is local here to the area that does all the walking ghost tours and stuff downtown in the summer, they just moved their office over to the Anchorage, and they also do paranormal investigations for the public there as well. And so I'm hoping sometime in May, one of the visits that we come down, I can do the investigating there. I'd really like to do the Lafayette. Last year they had one in Lafayette, actually I think it was in January, where you basically the admission for the investigating was you'd have to reserve a hotel room, and if you told them that you were with the investigation, they would put you on the third floor. So they would basically, you'd purchase your hotel room for the third floor, and then you'd get to investigate all overnight, however long you wanted, on the third floor. I thought that would be a heck of a lot of fun, but I didn't get to go because that was in January, and we weren't sure what was going on. And that was before the whole blow up at work about, them laying people off and finding out about, my mother-in-law. So my great uncle died 2 weeks ago, and yesterday was his funeral and memorial service in Evanston, Wyoming. It was a little sad I got to miss that, but I just couldn't swing flying out to Salt Lake and coming back these last 2 days. I just couldn't swing it, and the time off would have been kind of bad. And we'd already planned on coming down here anyway, so my husband was actually little glad I didn't go, but he's going to send me out this summer to visit my great Aunt Joyce, so I can actually spend some time out with her. But yeah, so I actually get to stitch out here this morning. Alright. A couple more sips of coffee. You can hear the goose. There's a lot of geese on the river down there. I don't know if you can see them or not from your vantage point. Yeah, the glare on my computer screen. I can see a little shadow of what you guys see, but yeah, can't really tell. Sorry about that, everyone. My computer settings may have gotten screwed up since my laptop battery died. So got my laptop plugged in. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's what I wanted to see. Alright, so back to stitching. Since I have my coffee finished, let me actually scoot back a little bit. There we go. So you can actually see in here the river. I'm not sure where I ended off in the video as far as what I was talking about. Sorry about that, you guys. But my laptop battery conked out. It's kind of frustrating. Technology can only go so far. Alright. I would have done this on my phone, but yeah, and I would have done this live for you, except my laptop doesn't get very good whatchamacallit, internet out here. The front porch. Alright. If anyone can tell me what kind of bird that is, that would be awesome. I don't know what kind of bird that is. This piece of floss was just a little too short for my liking. The other thing, you guys, I could talk about is the needles that I prefer to use right now. My needle of choice are John James Tapestry Petites in size 28. Those are my go-to needle right now. I'd like to try Bowen needles. I'd like to try a couple of the other needles that are out there. I just haven't had a chance to purchase any. I think I had a couple of the John James platinum needles at one point. I don't really remember. I just kind of happened to pick up needles just wherever. Mostly at my local needle workshop, but I have like many packages of the Tapestry Petite needles because that is my go-to needle of choice. Just poke myself with the needle, actually. A little bit for this. Oh, look at that. That's kind of what I thought. I'm gonna have to resort to my using my doololly to do this. At least to just get it kind of out of the way for a bit. So, long time ago, this little tool came out called a doololly. It looks kind of like a needle threader, and it has a little hook. It's two pieces like this. I don't know how well you can see that this far away, but the interesting thing is the creator of this doololly tool was on her way to market with her husband, and she suddenly died on the way to market. So the original doololly, which is what this is no longer being made, but there's now some other companies have created something very similar. So this is an original doololly. I don't know if any of you out there might know what it is. So I was lucky enough to purchase this before the lady died, and I also got one for one of my really good friends who I take to stitch night with me on Wednesdays. But this little tool comes quite in handy. It helps you bury threads that are real short that you can't bury with using a needle because the thread's too short. It's just real handy. I like it a lot. And I actually use it more than I thought I would. I thought, you know, why am I spending good money on a tool that I probably won't use very much? But I have found this tool to be quite invaluable. So if you can get, I don't know what they're called now, but if you can get one of these for your stitching supply, I would highly recommend it. The nice thing about this is it's actually in two parts, and there's a little teeny lobster clasp that you can hook them together so it becomes one. But you have this little hook thing. I don't know if you can see that real well. And then you have this little needle threader piece that, yeah, it works real well. I can show it to you some other time. I'm actually going to have to flip this over. this over so I can actually bring this back through the front and tie it off. Alright. Yep. Yep. I don't know if I'll be able to do an up-close demonstration of how this thing works, but this tool is pretty invaluable to me now. Priceless, as they would say. It has saved me in so many ways. It's pretty miraculous to me. It's probably one of the best purchases for cross-stitch that I think I ever made. And now it's kind of collector's item because they no longer actually make them this way anymore, as far as I know. The newer ones aren't quite like this. This is a doololly though. I will be very sad if anything happened to it, just because I love it that much. I have to dig out my scissors now. Here we go. Oh, and here's my stitchy scissors of choice. They're little flower scissors. My stitchy friend got them for me, Vicky. She's the one that I pick up and take to stitch nights with me. She actually also got me this scissor fob. Has the little rubber thing on it that you can put the scissor tips into, so you know your scissors look like that. It's kind of nice. I like it. I don't use the rubber tip for the scissor tips as much as I should, but I like it. So, for those of you out there, what are some of your favorite stitching accessory or stitching tools, I guess is what you would call them, that you guys have? I mean, I actually have quite a few, like the doolollies. Needle minders are really helpful. I'll show you this one. As you know, I'm working on a Totoro piece. Just put that in there. I have a little Totoro. Let me get this on here so you can actually see it. I have a little Totoro. I don't know if you can see him. A little Totoro needle minder. He's holding an umbrella, so it kind of matches. I haven't been matching my needle minders with the project because I don't have a lot of matching needle minders. I do have a couple, like this one matches actually pretty well because it's Totoro holding an umbrella. But most of my needle minders aren't going to match my project just because I don't have, well, my needle minder collection has like multiplied in the last couple of weeks just because I've been finding buttons at places that I can convert. But yeah, my needle minders haven't been matching my projects necessarily. That is 4:45. Yep, 4:45. All right. 4:45. It's bright yellow. Bright yellow. Yellow. I like the colors in this thing. It's really bright. Oh, that's what I want right there. So yeah. This little piece of something. My glasses said I didn't want a little traveling buddy. There we go. Come on, edit it, video. This would be nice. This is a little longer piece, so I shouldn't need a doololly to finish this off. But yeah, so like I said, you know, I use the loop start, everything like that. Are there any other techniques that you guys have come across recently? The newest technique for me is probably the pin stitch. That's probably the newest technique that I learned. Before that, it was the modified pins or modified loop start, where you actually don't have to go to the back of your fabric to loop start. You can actually, you know, do the loop start through the front of your fabric. That's been that was the second newest thing for me. And then before that, it was just the loop start in general. But yeah, the pin stitch. I forget who it was recently that I was watching. I was binge watching on YouTube. Who where did those go? I was binge watching somebody on YouTube recently, who she had gotten a couple of baggies of floss from, it was Krynic, bags of Krynic spools of floss, like 30 spools of floss in this baggie for like $5. I forget who it was. I'm sorry that I can't give you a shout out, but anyway, she, in her bag of this Krynic floss, she had she'd bought like 3 or 4 bags of this stuff for like $5 a piece, which is a really good deal for Krynic, if you know, because spools of Krynic can be like $4 a pop. So the fact that she got like 30 spools or something in a bag for $5, I mean, that's a really good deal. I would jump all over that. Oh, and just so you know too, the Krynic warehouse where Krynic is made is here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Parkersburg is about 10 minutes down the road that way, going on the county road. Unfortunately, they are closed on weekends. But the next time that I am here on a Monday, you know, I still haven't been there yet. But the next time we are down here on a Monday, I'm gonna make it a point to stop over there and see their factory. I might be able to meet the owner. I don't know, but yeah, they're just down the road here, and I keep forgetting that they're here. And had I known that they were here like many years ago, I probably would have been stopping in almost every time that we were here on a weekday. But yeah, the Krynic manufacturing is just down the road from here. So hopefully I'll be able to go there sometime soon. Anyway, but yeah, so she got she had gotten bags, a couple of bags of Krynic and some other stuff for $5, and in the bag of stuff that she had was some little spools of Nymo thread, NYMO, Nymo thread. And if any of you do like beading other than on cross stitch, you know that Nymo thread is used a lot in bead weaving and stuff because it's a little stronger and it holds up a little better, and it's pretty smooth. It's kind of similar to like a dental floss, actually. And she had a couple of spools of that in her bags, and she didn't originally know what it was. And she said, you can hear the emergency vehicles across the river, but she didn't originally know what it was, and she said that she started using it for her cross stitch beading, and she said that she will never go back to using anything else. So I might actually try Nymo thread. I have some at home. The next little beading thing I may try using that with. I may try it on a Mill Hill kit with perforated paper. I don't know yet. I thought about using Nymo thread for cross stitch beading, but I don't know. I don't know why I just never tried it. I have a lot of beads for beading projects that I started. Like I was doing bead weaving for a little while, so I have a lot of seed beads and stuff like that, and I have some memory wire and all that stuff. But yeah, I may actually try Nymo thread sometime, just to see. Okay, just to see how it goes. So what other kind of tips or tricks do you guys come across in your stitching that have helped you along the way? Oh, the other thing is too, I actually use Thread Heaven or Thread Magic. Either one. Thread Magic is the the stuff you can get at Joann's or Michael's in the sewing notion section. That replaces Thread Heaven. You know, Thread Heaven was, the production of Thread Heaven was stopped earlier this year, and a lot of people were kind of up in arms. It's a really good product to use, like if you're using a lot of metallics. It helps metallics go through your thing. I used to be a floss sweater a long time ago. I had a little container with a little sponge in it that I would keep wet, and I would wet my floss before I used it to, you know, kind of straighten it out, help it lay flatter, and help it not knot up so much as I was stitching with it. And then when I saw somebody a couple years ago, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, was using Thread Magic or Thread Heaven, Thread Heaven to condition all of their floss. So I was like, instead of just using that for the metallics, blending filaments, Krynic, whatever, I'm just going to start using that instead of wetting my floss, because I was always worried that getting my floss wet and then using it on my fabric was going to make it bleed onto the fabric a little bit. Well, I never had that happen, but that was always in the back of my mind as a possibility. So I just kind of went to Thread Magic or Thread Heaven and just started doing all my floss. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't make a difference, but it seems to me like the floss kind of pulls through the fabric a little better. I don't know. So, yep, there is that. So I do use Thread Heaven, Thread Magic, whatever your choice is, for basically all my floss. Now you're not seeing me add it to these pieces because these pieces have already had it added when I read the pieces of floss that I've been using this video, because I've used snippets, pieces of floss that I've used before, and they already have been pulled through the Thread Magic or Thread Heaven. So yeah. Oh, doctor. I'm really enjoying this, y'all. It's a little cold, not terrible. I mean, my hands aren't real cold sitting out here, so, you know, it's cool, but it's not terribly cold. I'm not shivering like I was the last live video I did out here for you a couple weeks ago. So, that's long enough to really save, so put that aside. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do. Next one I'm going to do which is $8.93. Oh look, you guys get to see a barge going up the river. This is in frame yet? I don't know. No, it's not in frame yet. It's coming back behind the tree though. That big tree. You can see it. It's going to come up through. This is the main traffic you'll see on the river. Except on weekends, you know, warmer weekends. A lot of people will be out on their boats on the river. But the main traffic that you're going to see on the river are barges. I don't know what this barge is carrying. Normally you'll see barges of coal going up and down the river. It's pretty cool. This one has a pretty big boat on it. I'm not sure what company this barge is from. It looks like this might only be four barges. Sometimes they've been as many as like 15 flats of stuff being pushed up the river or down the river. Yeah, I think you can see that. Yep, you can see that. I'm not sure what company that is. I don't recognize the S. Of course, I'm not too big on the, you know, companies like that, shipping companies. So maybe somebody out there knows what company that is. Every year, the weekend after Labor Day in September, they have the Sternwheeler Festival, which is all the paddle wheel boats. They have the Sternwheeler Festival out here, and they have a barge that's across the river that live bands play on. There's all kinds of people sitting on the river across the way. The paddle wheel boats line the river. They have sternwheeler races on the river on Sunday. Those are always fun. They have a big fireworks show on Saturday night for it. They've actually shot fireworks off the bridge that's behind me, the Williamstown bridge. The most spectacular one, they made it look like a big waterfall. Like the entire bridge was one big waterfall of light. It was really beautiful. But the fireworks down here are pretty spectacular. I think the fireworks here are better than Red, White, and Boom in Columbus in July, for the 4th of July. The fireworks down here, I think, are just much more spectacular than anything up in Columbus. I don't know why. Plus, the fireworks barge ends up being right here on the river. Literally, like right here on the river is where the fireworks barge sets up. And it shoots the fireworks. So basically, you know, like you can sit here and watch the fireworks. Like the fireworks are like right in this area. And it's loud, and it shakes the windows in the house, and it rattles you and hits you, all the booms hit you real hard. And, the fireworks just shoot like right above you. It's really cool. It's a really great experience. And I love that here. That's one of my favorite times to come. Because there's just a lot going on. Live music, lots of food. They close down this street. A lot of street vendors selling food and stuff park on this street. And, of course, over there, they have the streets roped off, too. And they have food vendors and stuff over there. So it's just like one big party all weekend. It's a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. So if you ever get a chance and you're in this area, the weekend after Labor Day, come down for the Sternwheeler Festival. It's a lot of fun. Every once in a while, you'll find there's this big riverboat cruise line or riverboat cruise ship called the Delta Queen. Every once in a while, the Delta Queen will be docked over across the river so that people can get off and shop and whatnot. I actually kind of want to take a river cruise like that, where you go from here down to like Mississippi or New Orleans or someplace like that. I'd actually really like to take one of those cruises, but as far as a cruise goes, they're actually kind of really expensive, all things considered. Those river cruises can be like $5,000. I mean, come on, you can go on another cruise like to another country for like, $1,600, $1,800, $2,000. Those river cruises, I don't understand why a river cruise like that can be like $5,000 and $6,000. I don't know. It just seems to me like they wouldn't be that expensive. But I don't know if you can hear that whistle. I don't know if that's a train coming through. Maybe a train. Yeah, I think that's a train. So you'll hear a train coming through. Train is the street behind my in-laws' house. Yeah, that's a train. You can hear the ding, ding, ding. All right. But yeah, those river cruises. I don't understand why they can be so expensive. I don't know, man. There's a yeah, you can hear the ding, ding, ding of the train. Yeah, you can hear the rumble of the train. Yeah, that's the other bit of traffic that you'll hear a lot here. You won't get any vehicular traffic much. But you'll get a lot of train traffic, a lot of river traffic. Come now. Where did my scissors go? Alright, move the chair over just a little bit. Did I put my scissors back in here? No. Alright. I'm actually going to close this up so I don't lose half of this stuff. There. Oh, well, you know what, actually? I already tied that off. So, I'm going to, actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and, we'll leave that out because I've got to, after I do this next little bit of green, but yeah, there's not much traffic going on. Kind of forgot momentarily what I was talking about before. My hands are getting a little cold now. It's maybe too short. Yeah, it's gonna be too short. You might be able to hear the river water lapping onto the thing over there. A little bit of wake from the boat going up the river. I don't know if you can hear that above the rumble, the low rumble of the train. You can also hear the train wheels squeaking on the train tracks. You get that a lot around here. Now my fingers are getting a little chilly on this hand. So, but yeah, it's kind of a really nice day out here. Not terribly cold. Not as cold as it's been. So yeah. It's a nice day out today. I think I know why my hands are getting cold. The sun is moving, so like the sun is no longer really at my back. The sun is trying to go back behind the house. So I'm getting ready to be inundated with shade, which is why I think my hand is getting cold. Trying to stitching this. I need to tie it off and bring back the color. So I will be out here for a little while longer, and then I can go in and upload, edit, put these 2 snippets of video together, and Welcome for now. I'm kind of looking. See, I just pulled my floss out. Y'all, it happens. It's always annoying. Oh, I know the coffee stitcher talked about this. He was asked a question. You know, like how does he keep the floss on his needle? The one end is floss on his needle from like being two different lengths. And he says he doesn't worry about it, about the floss on his needle, this end here, becoming two different lengths as he's stitching. I don't worry about it either, to be honest with you. I just kind of let the floss kind of do what it does and leave it at that. To me, it just happens. I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. I enjoy my stitching too much to really worry about some of the smaller stuff like that. I find using a legging tool, you know, my floss tends not to knot nearly as much when I'm working with it. And plus, the Thread Magic and Thread Heaven has been helping with that a lot. So my in-laws have a dog. Their dog's name is Rosie. Rosie is a sweetheart. My husband's dad is going to keep the dog, at least initially, after Ellen passes away. But Rosie is technically Ellen's dog. And there's a debate right now over who's going to get Rosie when Dylan's dad can't take care of her anymore. And Dylan and I are under the impression that we're going to take Rosie. Ellen's daughter Dee, she has polio? Lupus? Polio. No. She has something. And she doesn't get around much anymore. She doesn't have exactly the best living conditions, but she also has a dog. Another 2 dogs or something that she has too. And she swears up and down that, you know, Rosie's hers. I don't know how well that's going to go over, but quite a few people in the family don't think that she would be all that capable of taking care of Rosie. I know she loves Rosie to death. Everybody kind of loves Rosie. Rosie grows on you. But I think Dylan and I are probably gonna take her when that time comes. Alright, since I'm gonna be working on flowers, I'm actually gonna pull this off of the thing and this piece away too. Yep. So I'm going to be working on this color for just a little bit. So I will work on this color until it runs out. Alright, I'm almost at the top of Totoro's head, y'all. This is going on 35 minutes. I think this Stitch With Me video is probably going to be a little over an hour long. Hope you guys don't mind. I just figured, you know, it's not every day that you guys get to watch a video of somebody sitting, you know, with the river in the background, sitting stitching on such a nice day with all kinds of things going on. So and I didn't pay for the sound, background sounds for this, you guys. So It's one of the other reasons why, you know, I kind of decided to come out here and stitch. Is because, you know, you get all these natural sounds. So yeah. I don't have to pay royalties for this, so that's also nice. I don't even know who I would pay royalties to for this, but yeah, there you have it. You know that the sun is going back behind the house. It's starting to get a little chilly because I'm in the shade now, but it's still not too bad. I'll stay out here for a little while longer and stitch with you guys. I did manage to get the stem of the umbrella finished though, on this, sitting here with you guys. A little bit that I've been able to do. Alright. And here are the geese on the river. A couple years ago, there used to be a big flock of starlings that would be down here, and they would do what my mother-in-law would call bird ballet, and you'd see the flock of them just kind of floating through the air, and they'd make, you know, all different kinds of things all through here. A bunch of starlings. They haven't been down here for a while. I can see them every once in a while in Columbus, but yeah, they used to land on the branch back there. They used to land in this big tree. We haven't seen them in a little while though, down here. I don't think they come here anymore. I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go up there. So, 6. Cause math, y'all. I got this right. Cause math. Oh, I was, you know, one of the people I watch on FlossTube is Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. And Stephanie's always talking about how, you know, she always does FlossTube number 42, 10 plus 10 plus blah, 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 blah. So, you know, she said, cause math, you know. Well, I think part of the reason why I had to frog my project last night, was because, well, my math was off. Sometimes I can count, sometimes I can't, and I don't know why. I was a math minor in college. You know, I went through calculus, linear algebra, you know, all that stuff. My next math class would have been differential equations, DiffEQ. And I think that was the last math class I needed for my minor in math. But yeah, sometimes, you know, I just can't math. It ain't because of math, trust me. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I don't even know why I did that. I just have to remember that I have to do that. Alright, so I did that. 2. So yeah, there's that. Sometimes it's math, sometimes it's not. It's everyday life, you guys. Small town, Ohio, or West Virginia. Small town, West Virginia. This is what it's like down here. Yeah. Sometimes I find myself not using my trolley needle to lay the threads down, especially as I get closer to the end of the thread, because it already lays down flat and side by side. And I only really use the trolley needle when I am stitching 2 threads on my needle, for obvious reasons. 3 for it, if I'm stitching with 3 or more, I tend not to use like a trolley needle or whatnot, a laying tool for my threads. I just try and keep them from twisting by letting the needle dangle in the back and letting it untwist itself. But yeah. So there is that. Huh. Back to my doololly for about half a minute. over. This way doesn't work. Beep, beep, beep. No, I have a YouTube channel. Alright, so there you have it. Stitch with me. Alright, so yeah, this video is going to be a little over an hour, you guys. I think I will just continue this, and you can watch it or not watch it. Anyway, let this go an hour. I'll cut it at an hour. So, alright. Get it edited. Get it edited. And then hopefully it can upload tonight, by tonight before I get home. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're going to be here today. Got our laundry done yesterday, so we don't need to do that, but we're having friends over tomorrow night, so someone wants to get home and clean. Let me figure out what we're doing for dinner and stuff like that. Wow, there's a weird glare. Alright. Let's just do solid stitching. I'm finished with this stitches that I have here, and probably call it for you guys, so I can get the video kind of edited and uploaded. And I'm getting kind of cold, so I may actually just stop and call it. Alright, let me finish these last few stitches up, and go ahead and call it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the view of the river. Oh, actually, there is something that I kind of wanted to show you guys. I'm really excited. I can actually do this for you now. Let me finish this up, and I will pause the video and go get what I'm talking about. So, as you know from one of my most recent videos, I pulled the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts May and June 1988. Well, a couple of the 1988 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazines out, and I'm gonna do the one pattern that was split in 3 of the Amish Life, Amid Amish Life series that they did. I'm gonna squish all 3 of them onto one piece of fabric. Well, I ordered last weekend. I ordered some Picture This Plus fabric from 123 Stitch. It was the color Mercedes, which is kind of like a mottled blue and white, and it was 32 count Lugana in Mercedes, and it came in Friday, so I can actually show you guys that in a couple minutes. Let me finish up these last 2 stitches, Actually, you know what? I'll probably just do a separate video for that. That way this video isn't extended any longer. So you'll probably see that update video. Then I can do the update video showing you the projects I worked on this weekend. Alright, let me find where the next stitch goes and bring that up to the front of my fabric so I can park my needle. And alright, y'all, I will show you the progress I made on this today. I don't know if you can see, but I got the stem of the umbrella done. And the red part that's out floating over here, this red part that's floating over here, that's his ear. This is the top of his head. This little line here, that's the top of his head. So Totoro, Floral Totoro is coming along. My needle minder is upside down because I was working upside down. There's my needle minder, Floral Totoro. It's coming along, you guys. I didn't do a whole lot on here, but I did get the stem done. I didn't have the stem done. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm ending. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video of me stitching on my in-laws' front porch. I know this was promised for a little while. The weather has finally cooperated. I actually think I'm kind of done stitching for this weekend down here. So I'm going to probably just end up packing up. I'm going to start doing that just a little bit right now as I'm talking to you. But, yeah, I don't know when my next video will be up. I'm hoping to have this video up and live for you guys before we even get back to Columbus. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the weather. It's getting a little cold. You notice I haven't drank my coffee. There's a little bit left in my cup, but the coffee's ice cold, and, well, you know, to be in a certain mood for ice cold coffee. And I really only prefer Starbucks Frappuccinos, ice cold, coffee wise. So yeah, I'm packing up my stuff. I have these document folders, these little plastic document folders that I got at my local Japanese store. This little document folder here is Sumiko Gurashi, and it's little animals eating sushi. This one happens to be them drinking coffee and stuff. Oh, it's just life in general, because you can see, like, there's a couple of them here eating ice cream and stuff, and on the back, like, there's some, you know, drinking coffee and stuff like that. These little document folders are really cute. This one has the Totoro pattern in it. I don't know if I have the other Totoro pattern. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I don't know if I have it in color. I have another Totoro pattern that's exactly the same, but it's different as this one. Instead of being Floral Totoro, though, I'm going to show you this, if I can get it out. Instead of being Floral Totoro, though, it's all in two colors, black and yellow. But he's surrounded by a moon, so I'll show you this a little bit. You see that? Can you see that? Here. Yeah, it's generally the same pattern. If I do that, what I'll probably do, my goal for this one is to do the yellow, honestly, in glow-in-the-dark threads. I just think that'd be so cool to have them, like, you know, outlined in glow-in-the-dark threads. But yeah, it's essentially the same pattern, exactly the same pattern, but just in a different colorway with the moon in the background. So, yeah. This is my document folder. I really like these. The Japanese store carries them for $2.50. It's actually marked as $1, but the Japanese store near our house has these in has these for $2.50, and they're made in Japan. Sumiko Gurashi is a Sanrio characters. There's actually a phone app that you can get for Sumiko Gurashi, where you can actually, like, take care of Sumiko Gurashis, and it's really cute. But yeah, so you guys, I think I'm all done with you today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the river view of the Ohio River on a lazy Sunday morning. It's just really beautiful out here, you guys. But I hope you enjoyed the stitching. Anyway, I will see you hopefully sometime soon with another update video. I'm planning on showing you my the fabric for the Amish Life pattern that I'm going to start. I think that's going to be my May 1st start. And like I said before, I think I may be participating in Stitch Mania starting May 1st, but I don't know. It may be where I decide to start that Amish pattern and just work on that Amish pattern the entire month of May as my mania. I also thought about trying to hit all my whips, you know, picking like maybe 3 whips a day and putting in at least 10 to 15 stitches on each project every day, or maybe a block of 10, I don't know. Or maybe I might try, like, you know, a block of 10 by 10 stitches, which is 100 stitches. Do 100 stitches on a pattern every day of the month of May and switch it off every day. I don't know. So that way at least a lot of my older whips might get some love. I don't know. I have a couple of Heaven and Earth designs I haven't touched in a while. Maybe I'll just decide to pull one of those out and do one of those instead. I am kind of itching to start that Amid Amish Life one, though, since I'm squishing all 3 patterns that came out in the magazines together. Other than that, I really don't have any plans for Mania. If I do participate in Mania, it's either going to be that I start that Amish one, or I do something where I touch all my whips in the month. I touch every single one of my whips. I'm going to have to count them up now and figure out how many I have, because I don't remember. I think I had like 25 or 26 before I started some of these, but I've also finished up like one of the Mill Hill things, and I don't think I counted all the Mill Hill things I started, because I found another Mill Hill kit, Santa, that I had kind of forgot I started, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It just really depends. But anyway, I'm done here for today, you guys. Hope you enjoy the view. Anyway, I will leave you here. So, alright. Mark these stacks. Let's move out of my way. There we go. Alright, guys. I think that's it for now. Take care. Stitch all the things. Relax. Take it easy. Tell those people around you that you love them. You may not have tomorrow. Neither may they. So, just keep on keeping on, you guys. Take it easy. Until next time. So long.